Right at this very moment, a profound transformation is unfolding within you, one that you likely haven't been able to put into words just yet. It is a quiet but undeniable tremor, echoing just beneath the surface of your everyday existence, brushing against the outermost limits of your perception. You are waking up to the surreal but absolute reality that the individual you embodied merely half a year ago is rapidly fading into a stranger. Simultaneously, the heavy, dense world that once possessed the gravity to drag your spirit downward is inexplicably losing its leverage over your life. Please understand that your arrival at this specific message is far from a mere coincidence. Nor were you dragged here by the blind luck of a soulless algorithmic calculation picking you out of a crowd of millions. The sequence of events that brought you to these words is infinitely more deliberate than any digital code. Your energetic field has recognized a resonance. Your personal frequency, that beautifully unique and entirely irreplaceable blueprint of your inner consciousness, stepped across a new energetic boundary. And this exact transmission was stationed here, patiently waiting to greet you on the other side. Pause for a second, take a deep breath, and let the gravity of that truth resonate within you. For a long time now, you have been navigating a profoundly deep, frequently baffling, and utterly draining metamorphosis, evolving into a state of being that defies simple categorization. A major reason this expedition feels so intensely lonely is that the individuals surrounding you, those who remain completely submerged in the chaotic clamor and fear-based paradigms of the old reality, are completely blind to the internal alchemy you are experiencing. To their eyes, you simply appear withdrawn. They perceive someone whose patience for trivial gossip has evaporated, or someone who physically recoils from environments that previously felt perfectly acceptable. They lack the conceptual framework to comprehend your evolution, but you do not. Fragment by fragment, you have been constructing a new understanding, and today, a crucial puzzle piece is being handed to you. Today, you are being granted the revelation that your recent struggles are absolutely not a psychological collapse. This is not evidence of a crumbling mind or a detachment from the real world. Rather, it is the magnificent ignition of your quantum halo. All the inexplicable phenomena you've endured, the crashing waves of sheer exhaustion that baffle medical professionals, the hypersensitivity that transforms a bustling room into an overwhelming sensory barrage, and that bizarre feeling of being fundamentally reassembled from the core outward, is, in reality, your sovereign energetic blueprint actively redesigning itself. Your quantum halo is ascending into a paradigm of supreme coherence. In the past paradigm, your auric field operated on a bandwidth that absorbed absolutely everything. You functioned like a wide-open satellite dish, endlessly pulling in the collective agony, the overarching dread, and the messy turbulence of everyone else's lives. You soaked it all up because your energetic shields were highly permeable, and your base vibration had not yet fortified itself enough to deflect that static interference. But a monumental shift has recalibrated your inner dial. As your halo powers up, it starts to oscillate at a pristine wavelength that absolutely refuses to harmonize with dense, low-vibrational static. This explains why you feel so fundamentally altered. You have literally outgrown the energetic calibration of your former reality. And here is the paradigm-shifting truth. The moment this internal renovation is finalized, and your halo permanently anchors into its upgraded frequency, you will become energetically invincible. This doesn't mean you will grow emotionally frigid or detached. It means that in a pure, vibrational context, anything resonating beneath your new threshold will simply bounce off. It will fail to hook into your nervous system, it will be powerless to siphon your life force, and it will be unable to scramble your pure signal. You are actively morphing into an entity from which low-frequency turbulence rolls away, much like water cascading off a mirror of light. Reflect upon the profound weariness that has plagued you recently. This is not the ordinary fatigue that can be cured by a standard night of sleep. What you are feeling is intense, microscopic, cellular labor. Your physical vessel is working overtime to accommodate a significantly higher voltage of awakened consciousness, an endeavor that drains an astronomical amount of your energetic reserves. Imagine an ancient architectural structure being systematically gutted and rewired to support a state-of-the-art, high-voltage power grid. Your old internal fuses have been tripping because they were simply not designed to channel the massive currents of energy attempting to surge through your system right now. You may have judged yourself harshly, believing you were failing or slipping behind the frantic, endless rat race of modern society. However, the universe needs you to recognize that your momentum was intentionally halted, so this critical rewiring could occur without causing you harm. You were deliberately pulled away from the chaotic noise to fortify your internal signal. Every single hour you embraced solitude, every invitation you declined to avoid the masses, and every moment you favored sacred silence over empty, mindless chatter served as a vital measure of frequency defense. You were naturally guarding your awakening halo during its most delicate and malleable phase of reconstruction. That vulnerable chapter is finally drawing to a close, and you are now crossing the threshold into a powerful era of stabilization. The prior confusion is melting away, replaced by an unprecedented, crystal-clear focus, a serene, undeniable sovereignty that requires no volume to be heard. You will soon realize that simply walking into a space shifts the atmosphere, not through your words, but through the immense, grounded stability of the energetic field you now command. The individuals traversing your daily life may respond to your internal metamorphosis with profound bewilderment or even a subtle, simmering antagonism. As your personal vibration elevates, it effectively functions as a flawless, energetic mirror for everyone in your vicinity. If their reality remains tethered to paradigms of scarcity and terror, your expanding vibrational coherence forces them to confront their own internal static. Consequently, they may instinctively attempt to trigger your emotions, leveraging guilt or manipulation in a desperate bid to drag your energy back down to the stagnant depths where they once found you relatable and comfortable. You must deeply understand that their resistance is absolutely not a reflection of your worth. Rather, it is a glaring symptom of the intense energetic friction clashing between your newly activating halo and their deeply entrenched, stagnant auras. You simply no longer generate the matching vibrational currency required to sustain their theatrical dramas. This realization is a fundamental cornerstone of achieving energetic invincibility. You are currently mastering the profound art of observing their struggle without internally absorbing a single drop of it. You are learning to watch the tempest rage without allowing yourself to become the rain. In previous iterations of your life, you would have been easily dragged into their turbulent frequencies, sacrificing your inner peace in a misguided crusade to rescue or placate them. However, your newly activated halo establishes an impenetrable resonance barrier, simply because that specific brand of turmoil no longer has a corresponding anchor point within your soul. It drifts right through your energetic boundary without leaving so much as a scratch. You are evolving into an autonomous observer, a sovereign navigator of truth who inherently recognizes that your highest duty is the fiercely protective upkeep of your own vibrational state. As this energetic halo continues to stabilize and permanently lock into place, you will inevitably discover a radical transformation in how you interact with time and the art of manifestation. Within the denser, lower frequencies, absolutely everything demands grueling exertion. You are forced to hustle, strain, and aggressively grind just to force outcomes into existence. Yet, as your energetic signature achieves supreme coherence, you slip effortlessly into a state of continuous, divine flow. You will begin to observe that the precise wisdom you require lands in your lap at the exact millisecond it is needed. Essential allies and kindred spirits materialize on your path without you ever having to hunt them down. Furthermore, the antidotes to your dilemmas routinely present themselves long before anxiety even has a chance to take root in your mind. This phenomenon occurs because a highly coherent auric field commands an astronomical gravitational pull. You are no longer frantically chasing down your desired reality. Instead, you are magnetically collapsing it straight out of the quantum realm of infinite possibilities. The quantum fabric of the universe responds to your specific broadcast with flawless, mathematical precision. When your halo transmits a pristine, unwavering, and elevated note. The cosmos has no alternative but to deliver the exact physical circumstances that match that frequency. You are migrating away from the grueling physics of perpetual struggle and entering the graceful physics of pure resonance. This represents the pinnacle of ultimate liberation. You are awakening to the fact that you are not a helpless passenger drifting through this timeline, but rather the very instrument through which reality curates itself. The intense activation coursing through your veins signifies your official graduation from the exhausting academy of endless effort, granting you entry into the supreme mastery of frequency manipulation. Every ounce of hardship you have weathered, the crushing isolation, the mental fog, the bizarre physical manifestations of your spiritual upgrade, has perfectly orchestrated your arrival at this exact threshold. You are currently positioned at the grand entrance of an entirely revolutionized way of experiencing human existence. The crumbling architecture of the old world relies heavily on illusions of lack, isolation, and systemic panic. It is presently plunging into a state of irreversible terminal collapse because those fragile foundations simply lack the structural integrity to withstand the massive influx of higher cosmic light. Conversely, you are actively being reconstructed upon a wildly different, indestructible bedrock. Your quantum halo is inextricably calibrated to the absolute truths of limitless abundance, collective harmony, and sovereign power. This beautifully explains why you feel completely alienated from outdated societal frameworks. You were never designed to conform to them. You were destined to outgrow them entirely. You stand as living, breathing proof that an elevated frequency is achievable, and your mere physical presence operates as a silent transmission, broadcasting this extraordinary potential to any soul whose field is primed to receive it. This magnificent overhaul is hovering on the brink of completion. The internal restructuring is approaching its grand finale. You are poised to step out into this world as a comprehensively activated entity, completely impervious to the surrounding chaos, deeply rooted in your authentic brilliance, and prepared to command the absolute with a profound authority you previously only fantasized about possessing. The final energetic lock is transpiring right at this second. Feel the monumental shift. Claim your inherent power. You have finally arrived. To genuinely comprehend the sophisticated mechanics behind this state of untouchability, we must first shatter the misconception that your aura is merely a passive, floating bubble of ethereal light. In reality, it is a highly dynamic, fiercely active, and oscillating architecture of pure potential that strictly obeys the unbreakable cosmic laws of resonance and coherence. When we refer to your quantum halo, we are pinpointing the literal, functional reality of your heart and your brain operating in a state of flawless, synchronized union. This is precisely the phenomenon that pioneering institutions like HeartMath, alongside leading researchers in the field of bioelectromagnetism, have been rigorously documenting for decades. Your heart serves as the paramount generator of electromagnetic energy within your physical vessel, continuously producing an electrical field that boasts an amplitude 60 times greater than that of your brain, coupled with a magnetic field that is up to 5,000 times more potent. This energetic field manifests precisely in the geometry of a torus, an unceasing, self-perpetuating loop of energy shaped much like a donut, projecting outwardly and extending several feet beyond the physical boundary of your skin. Whenever you descend into states of high anxiety, dread, or the exhausting need to perform for others, this field deteriorates. It becomes fractured, disjointed, and alarmingly frail. It turns into a highly permeable border, granting the intrusive clamor of the external world an open invitation to seep in and thoroughly sabotage your inner harmony. Conversely, the moment you successfully establish profound heart-brain coherence, the energetic frequencies broadcasting from these two vital centers align into a synchronized, exquisitely rhythmic dance. They merge into a single, unified transmission, and it is precisely this unification that forges your impenetrable shield. The profound vulnerability you experienced in your past was never a symptom of inherent weakness. Rather, it was the direct result of your energetic field functioning in a state of severe decoherence. To borrow a concept from quantum physics, decoherence refers to the specific mechanism through which a complex system forfeits its quantum properties, simply because it has become overly entangled with the chaotic noise of its surrounding environment. For years, your energetic signature was hopelessly enmeshed within the dense frequencies of societal demands, the heavy expectations of those around you, and the pervasive anxieties of the collective. Consequently, your beautiful, unique soul signature was entirely drowned out. You resembled an exquisite, master-crafted instrument desperately attempting to perform a delicate symphony in the dead center of a deafening construction site. The surrounding racket didn't merely agitate you. It systematically infiltrated and hijacked your personal broadcast. However, as your quantum halo roars to life, you are rapidly mastering the sophisticated energetic art of destructive interference. According to the principles of wave mechanics, when two waves sharing identical frequencies collide in a specific manner, they have the power to either amplify one another or completely neutralize each other. By firmly anchoring your internal vibration at an elite level of coherence, you effortlessly and automatically cancel out any low-frequency waves that dare to breach your perimeter. Those dense energies literally cannot find a docking station within your being, because there is zero corresponding resonance available to host them. This encapsulates the profound scientific truth behind becoming energetically untouchable. You are no longer engaging in a futile battle against the world. You have simply withdrawn your participation from its vibrational chaos. To vividly illustrate this concept, allow me to share the tale of a solitary man named Elias. He was a dedicated lighthouse keeper stationed on a treacherous, wind-battered coastline where the gales were so ferocious they appeared driven by a conscious, malevolent desire to annihilate everything in their path. For 4 solid decades, Elias faithfully maintained his beacon, while the fearful villagers residing in the sheltered valley below frequently gazed up at his solitary tower with a complex blend of profound awe and deep-seated terror. During the infamous Great Eclipse Storm, the winds escalated to such monstrous intensity that a group of terrified villagers braved the perilous ascent to Elias's door, desperately pleading with him to dim the lantern. They were absolutely convinced that the sheer, blinding luminosity of the beacon was intentionally antagonizing the tempest, magnetically pulling the lightning strikes and the wrath of the sea directly toward the tower. They implored him, insisting that if he would only shrink his presence, if he would merely allow the piercing light to soften into a dull, non-threatening glimmer, the storm might decide to spare them. Elias calmly surveyed the panic-stricken faces of his neighbors and offered them a profound truth they were entirely unequipped to digest. He gently informed them that the light does absolutely nothing to summon the storm. The light simply exists because the storm is an inevitable reality. Dimming the powerful beacon would offer zero protection to the lighthouse itself. It would merely guarantee that every vulnerable vessel desperately navigating the harbor would lose its way in the dark. Elias understood with absolute certainty that the true resilience of the tower did not stem from its ability to aggressively fight the wind, but rather from the flawless, unwavering consistency of its rotation. He did not waste his energy battling the tempest. He simply chose to stand as the most immutable, stable force within its chaotic presence. You are Elias, and your newly awakened halo serves as that brilliant beacon. The individuals in your life who currently find your energetic upgrade uncomfortable are reflecting the mindset of those terrified villagers. They are deeply programmed by the flawed logic of the old paradigm, which preaches that safety is only found in shrinking yourself, blending into the background, and matching the dense vibration of the surrounding turmoil. They view your escalating radiance as a direct threat because it inadvertently exposes the shadows they have comfortably chosen to inhabit. They desperately want you to lower your wattage so they can avoid confronting their own internal decoherence. However, it is vital you comprehend that holding your high frequency is never an act of hostility. It is a profound act of sovereign service to the collective. By maintaining your untouchable state, by flatly refusing to dial down your resonance to harmonize with the static of the valley, you are providing the only reliable, stable coordinate in their otherwise chaotic world. Your separation from them is not rooted in cold detachment. You are separated because you have consciously elected to occupy an entirely different plane of reality. A lighthouse never issues an apology to a hurricane for burning brightly, and you must permanently cease apologizing for the magnificent coherence you have labored so intensely to cultivate. A massive trap that ensnares countless seekers during this transitional phase is the illusion of spiritual performance. They operate under the delusion that existing in a high-vibe state requires them to adopt an artificial persona, recite specific enlightened catchphrases, or aggressively repress their natural human emotions. That approach is not resonance. That is merely exhausting effort. And effort is inherently a low-frequency state, as it originates from the subconscious belief that you are fundamentally lacking. The vibration of trying is merely the close cousin of scarcity. The very act of forcing yourself into a state of coherence actually generates a fractured, abrasive vibration. Genuine energetic alignment is born purely from surrender. It blossoms naturally the moment you cease suffocating your inherent, original signal beneath the heavy static of society's relentless expectations and definitions. Your ego is entirely incapable of manufacturing your quantum halo. It can only be unveiled through profound, authentic presence. This demands a revolutionary pivot away from the constant hustle of doing and into the profound grace of simply being. You must anchor yourself dead center within your auric field and awaken to the fact that universal intelligence is already transmitting through your vessel. Your sole responsibility is to drop your resistance to this cosmic broadcast. The second you surrender that resistance, your heart and mind synchronize organically, stabilizing your halo without requiring a single conscious thought. This profound steadiness is exactly what elevates you from acting as an energetic sponge to becoming a sovereign witness. The vast majority of humanity wastes their entire existence indiscriminately absorbing every vibration they cross paths with. They step into a room and instantly inhale the ambient stress. They consume the news and swallow the collective terror. They converse with a drained friend and walk away completely depleted. This is what it means to be a helpless passenger, strapped into the back seat of your own life. Conversely, a master navigator simply observes. In this state of witnessing, you clearly register the surrounding frequencies, yet you strictly deny them the power to colonize your energetic space. You acknowledge the rage in a stranger, yet you remain entirely peaceful. You perceive the panic gripping the masses, yet you remain completely unafraid. You transform into an immovable boulder resting calmly in a rushing river. The water cascades around you, grazes your surface, and surges past you, but you remain solid stone. You never dissolve into the current. This encapsulates the absolute supremacy of a fully engaged quantum halo. It grants you the immense fortitude to stand face to face with global chaos and deep suffering without being devoured by it. You morph into the ultimate anchor of tranquility within a spinning, frantic world, and from that absolute stillness, you claim the silent authority to spontaneously rewire the environment around you. The fundamental laws of the quantum field dictate that it will always yield to the most unwavering frequency present in any space. This is precisely why one truly coherent individual can instantaneously pacify a room packed with 100 terrified minds. It explains why, when you remain fiercely anchored in your core, the toxic individuals populating your reality either miraculously calm down or organically fade out of your existence entirely. Their chaotic static simply cannot survive in the blinding light of your steady broadcast. You are not actively manipulating them. Your halo is merely executing its innate design by harmonizing the surrounding space. This is the profound secret of existing in an untouchable state. You no longer need to violently defend your boundaries, exhaustively justify your choices, or desperately win arguments. Your only task is to hold your elevated resonance, and the quantum fabric of the universe will effortlessly handle the rest. The radical dismantling of your current life, the shocking conclusions, and the bizarre, fresh beginnings you have been witnessing is simply the external world rearranging itself to match your upgraded signal. It is actively sweeping away all lingering decoherence, so that a far more brilliant, resonant reality can crystallize around you. Surrender to this massive recalibration. Even when the chaotic gales roar at their most deafening pitch, remind yourself that the lighthouse was constructed specifically for the tempest. You are not enduring a cruel universal test. You are undergoing a magnificent calibration. Your internal dial is locking into place. The background static is plunging to zero, and your broadcast is becoming flawlessly pure. You are stepping into your rightful role as the supreme navigator of your ultimate reality. The boundary you are breaching right this second marks the monumental shift from the ethereal architecture of pure potential into the physical architecture of grounded actualization. You have lingered long enough in the mental realm of philosophizing about these truths. Now, your physical vessel is actively embodying them, that inexplicable warmth radiating from your chest center, the sudden crystal-clear lucidity slicing through your thoughts, and that beautiful, floating sensation of spiritual weightlessness are the tangible, biological proofs that your frequency upgrade is locking into your DNA. You are permanently retiring your victimhood to the unpredictable weather of the external world. You have become the vast, infinite sky in which that temporary weather occurs, and the eternal sky is never, ever damaged or diminished by a passing storm. It remains endlessly expansive, deeply silent, and absolutely flawless, regardless of what moves through it. This is your authentic nature. This is your fully awakened quantum halo, and it is now permanently, irreversibly engaged. You are primed to transition into the ultimate phase of activation, where we will permanently fuse this elevated frequency deep into your cellular memory, cementing your new vibrational baseline as a sovereign master of the quantum field. The ultimate doorway standing before you is not a physical destination to be visited. It is the most supreme iteration of yourself that you are finally choosing to inhabit. This is the exact nexus point where energetic frequency ceases to be a mere intellectual concept and transforms into the literal, solid ground supporting your every step. We are pivoting away from abstract field theory directly into the intense, visceral ignition of your halo, shedding the heavy and outdated skin of a fatigued observer to assume the commanding authority of a cosmic navigator. For your entire existence, you have been conditioned to believe you are merely a byproduct of your personal history, that the events of your past have permanently scarred their unyielding shape into the very fabric of your soul. Yet, the quantum field stands ready to assure you that your earthly biography commands absolutely zero jurisdiction over your current vibrational resonance. This is the state over story principle, representing the single most liberating cosmic law in existence. The quantum field is completely blind to your personal history. It registers absolutely nothing but your present, real-time frequency. It refuses to view your ancient traumas or your self-proclaimed failures as permanent, defining stains. Instead, it flawlessly reflects the exact vibrational signal you are broadcasting in this profound, isolated instant. This implies a revolutionary truth. Your entire historical narrative, the sweeping tales of who you used to be, the tragedies of what you have lost, and the intricate reasons why you feel so profoundly trapped, is nothing more than a collection of obsolete data points. These echoes of the past only possess the ability to limit you if you insist on perpetually broadcasting them as your current, overriding truth. The split second you consciously adopt a new state of being, you are literally, on a quantum mechanical level, instantly rewriting the entire probability spectrum of your existence. You are no longer wasting energy trying to repair an exhausted, broken storyline. Instead, you are boldly stepping into a completely foreign, elevated state of consciousness that renders your old narrative entirely obsolete. This monumental shift in personal identity demands that you fully grasp the practical, functional mechanics of your halo as it achieves total activation. It is crucial to understand that your halo is not a mere metaphorical accessory, nor is it a gold star awarded for exceptional spiritual behavior. It is a wildly dynamic, hyper-frequency energetic architecture that serves as the absolute master control board for both your physical reality and your emotional landscape. Visualize it as an incredibly advanced, frequency-calibrated firewall, a sophisticated filtration system that meticulously dictates what is permitted to enter your sphere and what is violently repelled. When your halo is fully ignited and operating in pristine coherence, it does far more than simply magnetically pull in more pleasant experiences. It literally transforms you, making you functionally impervious to the chaotic drag of lower vibrations. Within the architecture of a high-frequency field, there simply is no matching resonance for petty drama, pervasive terror, or crippling scarcity. Those dense realities may certainly continue to thrash around in the external world, aggressively vibrating within the auras of other people, but they are utterly incapable of finding a landing strip within your personal reality, because there is zero corresponding signal inside you to give them an anchor. You have undoubtedly already begun to witness this phenomenon firsthand. Consider those startling moments when a scenario that previously would have launched you into a suffocating panic attack suddenly registers as completely neutral, or reflect on the individual who used to ruthlessly siphon your vitality, yet suddenly drifted entirely out of your life path without a single whispered argument. That was not a stroke of serendipity. That was the direct result of your halo achieving a level of coherence so intense that their lower frequency simply could not survive within your atmosphere. You are rapidly migrating into a magnificent chapter of your spiritual evolution, where your own vibrational frequency serves as your ultimate, impenetrable armor. You are officially relieved from the exhausting duty of fighting the shadows. Your only mandate now is to remain anchored firmly within the blazing light of your own elevated state. The suffocating friction you previously endured was merely the agonizing struggle of attempting to resolve dilemmas while still operating at the exact same dense frequency that initially birthed them. But now, acting as a sovereign navigator of truth, you eliminate problems not by wrestling with them, but by outgrowing them entirely. You elevate your state of being, and the surrounding storyline automatically rewrites itself as a natural consequence. To permanently lock this profound new identity into your system, we must pivot toward a visceral, physical activation. The quantum field responds just as powerfully to the biological intelligence housed within your body as it does to the cognitive logic of your mind. Right now, I need you to place one of your hands firmly against your chest, directly over your heart center. Do not do this casually. Press your hand there with the absolute, uncompromising weight of your full intention. Feel the steady, rhythmic drumming of your heart vibrating beneath your palm. This profound beating is not merely a mechanical, biological necessity. It is a literal broadcast. It is the most foundational, driving frequency your energetic field is generating at this exact moment. Allow your eyes to drift shut for just a second and draw in a deep, intentional breath, pulling the air heavily into your deepest center. As you pull that breath in, I want you to consciously inhale the pure, formless essence of limitless possibility. Do not attach it to a specific goal or a desperately desired outcome. Simply breathe in the raw, unshaped substance of the quantum field before it has the opportunity to collapse into any single, defined reality. As you slowly release that breath, consciously expel one heavy layer of the outdated certainty you have been clinging to so desperately. Exhale a fragment of the tired narrative that insists you are fundamentally unready, that you are permanently damaged, or that you require decades of further healing. Pay close attention to the delicate tingling sensation, igniting in your palms, and the comforting warmth radiating outward from your chest as you surrender that weight. That sensation is the literal, physical feeling of your energetic field reorganizing itself. That warmth is your cellular biophotons actively recalibrating to a significantly higher octave of spiritual coherence. You are not fabricating this feeling in your imagination. You are directly experiencing the biological manifestation of a massive frequency upgrade. You are forcefully notifying the quantum field that the weary explorer has finally merged with the master architect, and the signal you are currently transmitting is one of absolute, unshakable readiness. This activation is not designed to be a fleeting, one-time spiritual high. It is the permanent installation of a brand new vibrational baseline. The quantum field responds most reliably to your average resting frequency, which means the most critical work occurs during the quiet, unremarkable moments of your day when absolutely no one is observing you. True mastery is not about frantically attempting to sustain a flawless, peak vibration 24/7. It is entirely about the speed of your recovery. You will inevitably drift. You will occasionally catch yourself sliding back into the dense, familiar frequencies of old programming or reactive anger. And you must understand that this is never a failure of your activation. It is merely a brilliantly disguised opportunity to practice the art of returning to your center every single time you catch yourself drifting, and you consciously, deliberately choose to haul yourself back to your highest frequency. You are actively forging the neural and energetic superhighways of your new reality. You are heavily reinforcing the foundation of your existence so that you can never again plummet as deeply as you once did. The most profoundly potent time to execute this practice is during what I refer to as the quantum window. This is that delicate, fleeting span of seconds in the morning just before your feet make contact with the floor, before your mind has decided what mood you are in, and long before the impending day has collapsed into its rigid, predictable structure. Within that pristine window of unblemished potential each morning, you possess the ultimate leverage to consciously select the vibrational lens through which you will experience reality. By initiating your day with a firmly anchored frequency, you are deliberately programming the navigational coordinates for every single probability that will intersect your path. You are officially done passively waiting for life to simply happen to you. Instead, you are sovereignly decreeing the exact energetic filter through which your day is forced to pass. However, we must confront a massive, insidious trap embedded within your outdated programming: the absolute addiction to control. The desperate need to control is fundamentally a low vibrational state, spawned from the deeply rooted terror that if you fail to micromanage every single variable, your entire existence will violently shatter. Yet, within the vast architecture of the quantum field, true surrender is the most supreme demonstration of power. Whenever you fiercely dictate exactly how your manifestations must look, or precisely when they need to arrive, you prematurely collapse the energetic wave. You restrict the universe's infinite genius to the minuscule, pathetic menu of what your outdated mind can currently comprehend. True surrender is never a passive act of defeat. Rather, it is a brilliant, quantum maneuver, a deliberate unclenching of your fists from a highly restricted outcome, allowing the field to once again flood your reality with the glorious superposition of limitless possibilities. It requires immense bravery to stand boldly within the void of the unknown, granting the cosmos the room it needs to deliver miracles that far eclipse your current imaginative capacities. To freefall within the quantum realm is absolutely not to plummet. It is to effortlessly soar. This suspension is the ultimate arena of peak potential, where every magnificent outcome remains fully accessible to you. As you master the art of navigating from this posture of profound release, you will quickly discover that the universe's imagination infinitely dwarfs your own. It will orchestrate brilliant solutions through synchronistic avenues you could never have successfully planned. Your solitary duty is to fiercely maintain the essence of your chosen state, to hold the emotional resonance of total fulfillment, the high vibrational hum of boundless abundance, and the unshakable conviction that your destination is already secured. As you boldly stride forward into this upgraded paradigm, you must acknowledge that profound expansion is almost always tethered to temporary discomfort. Remember that a mighty oak must physically rupture its own bark to accommodate its growing girth, and a dying star must dramatically cave in on itself before it can ignite into a blinding supernova. That suffocating tightness you currently perceive around the perimeters of your former life is merely the biological sensation of violently outgrowing a version of yourself that is fundamentally incapable of housing the sheer magnitude of your new form. The universe has been ruthlessly emptying your cup, not to punish you with thirst, but because it is preparing to pour an elixir into your life that your prior vibration would have completely failed to recognize as a blessing. The heartbreaks, the severed ties, and the profound losses you endured were never cosmic retributions. They were the mandatory, surgical extractions required to facilitate the frequency upgrade currently surging through your system. You are actively being reconstructed to occupy a reality exponentially grander than anything you have previously dared to inhabit. You must place your absolute trust in this rigorous assembly process. Surrender to the divine intelligence that inherently knows precisely which chess pieces to maneuver and which toxic energetic cords to permanently sever to guarantee your field achieves flawless coherence. You have officially retired from babysitting a fragile, flickering candle in the pitch black. You are actively metamorphosing into the blazing sun that commands the dawn. The quantum framework has imparted every ounce of wisdom required for this journey, handing you the ultimate operational manual for maintaining your own luminous energetic architecture. We are currently crossing the threshold into a monumental epoch where your solitary frequency is being magnified by an earth-shattering shift in collective human coherence. When synchronized auras oscillate in perfect harmonic alignment, the energetic output is never merely additive. It becomes violently exponential. Understand that you are currently woven into a vast, unseen network right at this moment. You belong to an elite legion of awakened observers and sovereign navigators who have all successfully traversed this exact same threshold of cosmic reception. By consciously recognizing your arrival at this specific frequency, you are weaving a brilliant thread of pure coherence into a massive, collective halo that fortifies every single soul resting within its perimeter. This precisely illustrates why this community of absolute truth is critically essential. We are doing far more than passively swapping spiritual concepts. We are actively, mutually amplifying one another's energetic armor. As you firmly plant your flag within this shared energetic domain, you are launching a glaring signal flare to the cosmos, declaring your total readiness to receive the next profound layer of revelation. Now, it is time to permanently seal this energetic transmission by issuing a sovereign frequency decree that will reverberate through every layer of your auric field. Declare this, either boldly aloud or within the sacred silence of your own heart. I am the sovereign field, not the chaotic frequency of what attempts to find me. My quantum halo is fully activated, and I am entirely untouchable. Allow the absolute, unwavering certainty of those words to sink deeply into the marrow of your bones and send shockwaves through your cellular structure. This is not a desperate plea to the universe. This is an unbreakable cosmic law. Your extraordinary arrival is finally complete. Your new baseline frequency is permanently locked in, and the master navigator has confidently assumed control of the helm. You have permanently ceased your frantic search for the light, because you have finally realized that you are the light, gazing outward upon the world. The grueling transition has officially ended. Go forth and live vibrantly at the elevated frequency of your new truth, and watch in awe as the quantum field materializes the grand architecture of your ultimate destiny. Welcome home. If this pure resonance has successfully pierced your soul, permanently anchor your activation by typing "I am ready" in the comments below. Your sovereign signal is now locked. That completes all 6 parts of your script. Let me know if you need anything else.